returned.
Once again.
Fresh from some level of Thanksgiving festivity.
In the slums of Shaolin.
That is East Williamsburg, New York.
A.k.a. Bushwick.
You know. I was going to say come holler at me, but actually don't come holler at me.
Yeah, these aren't the times for that, but it is okay.
But, you know, come holler at us, you know, on the comments or whatever. Or at me at Shining Brizard or at Shining Brizard. You know, I know you kids like to be on Twitters.
You know what I'm saying? Holler at me, Bandit _light. That grew.
There you go. There's all the social medias. I guess usually we do that at the end. We're good as shit, right? Niggas is out here.
I mean, well, we're here now, so that's all that matters.
Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all ever like Mutant League football? Y'all remember Mutant League football?
They probably don't.
I love Mutant League football and hockey. They had Mutant League football, hockey, and I feel like some other thing I can't think of right now.
See, I never really played the games. I just saw the series. Shout out to Brother Bones once again.
I as well. They really tried to make Mutant League a thing. They were really pushing hard for that. They were lobbying.
Yeah, I'm saying it. You know, it had some
out here in the streets.
It had some foundation, but it didn't have the strong foundation. But I mean, those who know what it is, they've witnessed that. You know, they witnessed that good machine they used to resurrect niggas. I forgot the name of it, but whenever you get fucked up in whatever game they was playing, I thought they was dead, but you know they would just throw you in the machine and you'd be good money.
Yep. I just realized we didn't even do a proper promo. Welcome back to the Perfect Plex podcast. I almost forgot the name of my own show. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while.
Been too long
since we have casted out to you niggas.
Been a while.
So we decided to do this, you know, for a myriad of reasons. You know, boredom, creative output, to try to remain some level of consistency with our one episode per month pattern that we have had for the year.
It's 2020, folks, so you know what it is.
We're here to remind y'all that the world is ending. There's a reason for us, you know, intrepid viewers, or listeners, because they don't really view us per se, but
well, they're viewing us on the audio on the tube, so you know, but they're not seeing us right now.
Drinking us with your ears. Shout out to Fez and them.
I'm saying just all types of audio orgasms and shit, man.
But yeah, we, you know, besides all those things, we made these episodes throughout the year, because you know, the world is ending and we wanted to kind of keep things, I don't want to say appearing like they were normal, but like
there's a lot of freaky deaky shit going on.
There's a lot of fucked up shit to cover, and I don't know, we just wanted to feel like we were touching upon it in some way, given that we only really talk about three things, life shit, like I guess life and romance shit can be piled into the same existential dread like folder, and then there's sports that, you know, which is just that heat y'all really come here for.
I'm saying the spice,
and then the rest is kind of miscellany. Wrestling, I guess, you know, not that I don't consider wrestling a sport, but
yeah, we'll start delving more into more other various shit. The boxing realm is definitely getting a little spicier. Shout out to Errol Spence, by the way. Errol Spence Jr., excuse me. But you know, we got some shit going on, and you know, we have done some some UFC indeed. So you know, we'll.
Yeah, if anybody who's having a hell of a year, it's the UFC, which is very interesting, to say the least.
We got some enticing shit coming up though.
But as I mentioned about a minute already in, I am the Liquid Snake. I feel like I should come up with some kind of alias because I don't have like the accent that Liquid Snake has or whatever. I can't even do like a Liquid Snake impression.
Gotta work on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bust that out if we ever. if somehow we ever reach 100,000 subscribers, I have to. That'll be your reward.
Definitely put that in the comments.
Yeah, I have to get like Brolic and like get a blonde Steve Fox wig or some shit and really literally become Liquid Snake for at least an episode. You know, maybe the face reveal. That'd be the face reveal, right?
Whenever you want to get your Gold Dust costume, you could use the wig for that. So.
Nah, he's more like a like Gold Dust is like the platinum blonde, you know, like Liquid Snake is more like the dirty, like true. Yellow blonde, you know, the
Gold Dust had
blonde.
different wigs though.
Yeah, but he never had the blonde shit. It was always platinum.
I don't know. I think
because it has to look gold, you know, or it has to match the outfit.
I think the artist formerly known as Gold Dust had.
That's entire. Who knows? I mean, he's been so many people, you know. I didn't intend for this to be a wrestling podcast, but you know, Sun was 7 and like what was it? Black Angel or something Angel, Dark Angel, in Impact.
Yeah.
So he's had numerous outfits. So I'm sure you could find an outfit somewhere where Sun was wilding with the gold wig
and the gold thong.
Or maybe when he came back as Gold Dust after like all those other versions, like he went back to the original,
the natural.
They should have let Mans be Gold Dust one more time, and they really fronted on that story.
Dust of gold.
But fuck them. That's when he went to AEW, so fuck them.
Yes.
But I swear to God, this is not a wrestling episode. This is more of like a spice of life, end of the year, non-sporty snake pit episode. I guess this is where I put the snake pito. Maybe I'll use my limited audio editing skills and throw in the snake pito like there in the track. But we just wanted to touch base with y'all, you know, in kind of a Bill Burr-esque like type of way, you know. Yes. just how are you? Oh, that was awful. That was a terrible Bill. I regret doing that immediately. I shouldn't have tried for that. I'm sorry, Bill, if you ever happen to listen to that.
I'm quite sure he does, but yeah.
Nah, that's cool. I'm sure I'll be okay. It's not like I'm like H3 or whatever, fucking tripping over my own.
He ain't listening to us, man.
Nah.
Not right now, at least.
Nah, Bill Burr got shit to do, like raise a child and learn how to drum and fly planes and shit. Helicopters, right? Helicopters is his thing, right? Like
the fact of the matter is, folks, this is the no resolution podcast.
No resolution episode?
Oh, yes. Nah, fuck resolution.
Niggas would say that was cliche.
Well, you know what? It could be cliche, but I mean, for what it's worth, I can't remember the last time I made an actual resolution, but the only resolution is to get the hell out of 2020.
I mean, that's proceeding quite nicely. We're almost there. It's been some shit. We in the production meeting, you know, the meetings that we have that are like super professional and have nothing at all to do with getting drunk and or stoned and thinking about what we're gonna talk about to you guys.
And just swigging some green tea.
The cherished handful of you that listen to us. And we were talking about Uncle Murder, who always is on his. Now he has his. Besides being the uncle of murder itself, he has his tradition of where he comes out with his track every year about how the year went.
His end of the year wrap up.
It's always great, you know. It's cool.
It's very entertaining. If you haven't heard that, go to I'm guessing YouTube and check that out. And
we were the many years now that he's been doing it. And so now we're wondering here at the end of this year and at the end of the world, what is he gonna do? Like, what is he gonna talk about? Like, what is he gonna? I guess this is our rendition of that. I guess we're not gonna go through current events or whatever. Obviously, what have we been calling it on this cast? The CV. The what did Wrestle Talk call it? The Steve Carino. The Steve Carino has the king of old school has run rampant across the entirety of the world. It's pushed over this house of cards of a reality that we subscribe to, especially here in America. And it really kind of like warped a lot of things, considering who we have running the country, and the underlings under that person.
Yeah, but that's only for a short time.
Yeah, for a short while longer. But even beyond them, like it was just shit was always like this. Like shit was always just fucked up, and the vestiges. Let's get real academic here. The vestiges of white supremacy and our puritanical origins have held us back for far too long. Malcolm X is right. Plymouth Rock really did fall on us, and it keeps falling on us over and fucking over again. Not just on us, on everybody. And I don't know, man. I guess this is part of what this episode is about, like, to kind of talk to all these things. Like, a thing we also talked about in production meeting is investing in people, not just in, you know, your romantic partner or your business or any of that stuff, but investing in people. And, you know, how much is it worth, you know, to keep giving of yourself and giving of yourself and giving of your time and giving of your effort and giving of your resources and all these things. And I don't want this to sound like, you know, sour grapes or whatever. You know, help your people wherever you can. Do what you gotta do. What you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't take care of your peoples or help them out. I'm just saying that there is a lot, you know, invested in that, and it goes all the way up the chain. You know what I'm saying? The fact that sociopathy, and near psychopathy is valued more in this world, seemingly, at least at the higher ends of the spectrum, in terms of the people who have their hands on power and shit. Like, what is to be done? Like, all the years are going to continue to be like 2020, pandemic or not, as long as this is what they're angling towards. And I know maybe this is kind of like a rant that came out of nowhere, but this episode has also kind of just expressed some floating thoughts that we have about, you know, what's going on, and having lived through all this madness, which is still uncertain, man. I'm not going to front on y'all, or I'm not angling for sympathy or any of that either. Like, you know, we're all hurting. We got to make it through the way we make it through. But I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent this month. I didn't pay my rent last month. I didn't pay my full rent the month before that. Like, can't work. Like, I have a job and I can't work it. I live in a place that's on lockdown, that may even go on real lockdown, because, you know, niggas just couldn't not eat outside, you know, just for a couple months, man. Like, and don't get me wrong, I like bars too. I like going out. I miss seeing movies. I miss fucking going out on dates. Like, it's mad frustrating that, you know, you want to fucking, you know, look up potential partners or look up potential good times with people, and you can't even do that because you're like, oh, did they get tested, or did they, you know, where have they been? Who do they know? Like, and I know that's always been a concern, but it's now even more of a concern, and it's that much more daunting, and everything seems so much more daunting. And the fact that the people that run us, or, you know, have the power or whatever, are just saying, oh, everything's fine, just keep going to work, and, you know, you get sick and that'll be all right. You know, you'll make it through. Like, the infection rate, you know, the recovery rate is 93%. You'll be all right. Like, it's cool. It's good money. Just risk your life. Just keep risking your life for us. Just keep risking your life for us. And I guess that's the theme of this episode, is investment. Maybe that's the title right there. Investment at the end of the world.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not.
Nah, all right. But investment though, like, you know, where's the line at? You know, I might be rambling a little bit, you know, pull me out of the water or something, but you know what I'm angling at, because we were already talking about it, you know, before this started.
No. I mean, ultimately, what we're talking about is just the full-fledged fuckery, man. And 2020 has definitely presented all faces of that, you know. And I guess the reason that we're really doing this cast right now is just to figure out how the hell do we maneuver out of that. At least somehow, you know, just some loophole, man. Like 20. I mean, look, we going into 2021, all right. So I'm ready to play some blackjack. I'm ready to throw some dice.
Shit, just tell me the niggas give a shit. Like, I get that we gotta gamble to some degree to make it, but
but it's like, can you know?
Can I at least get in the casino, like something like?
You know, niggas don't want to start behind the 8 ball, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have one of them weird old school 8 balls that you used to have to shake for your fucking fortune, and every time that shit come up, it's like, oh, yeah, you fucked.
Yeah, or maybe, you know, man,
check me later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, check me later, son. I have something different for you then.
Yeah, but, you know, ultimately, this year has, for, you know, more or less been crappy. And, you know, first of all, anybody that's, you know, had any type of fam, or, you know, anybody you know that's been affected by any of this shit, whether it be COVID, the cops, or, you know, just 2020 in general. You know?
Losing your job, losing your health insurance,
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
losing
know,
your mind.
That's really what this cast is about, because ultimately, regardless of anything, we still here. You know what I'm saying? We still here, and still fighting. So, you know, even though it's kind of dark, we're kind of here to bring some kind of inspiration. Still not sure how the fuck we gonna do that, but you know, hopefully by the end of this cast, hopefully we've succeeded in that somehow. But yeah, you know, again, man, like, first of all, you know, the news will kind of make you feel like shit is over, shit is messed up, and the only thing I'll say to that is, you know, just take from that what you need, but you know, just take care of yourself first and foremost. Take care of you and yours. You know, if you ain't right, who the hell else is gonna be right? So take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, health wise, physically. I won't say Armageddon is here, but I'm not sure when the fuck is coming. So, hey. But yeah, nah, again, like I said, we're still here, and that counts for something. So, you know, we'll build upon that. We'll see what this next wave will bring, and we'll see what happens after December 31st. But the key thing is, you know, we won't have the same,
more importantly, January 20th to the 21st.
I was getting to that. You know, we won't have the same evil empire.
No, we will. Just, you know.
Well, yeah, not the same, but like I said, a different one.
A couple less tyrants.
Yeah.
Not many, but a couple.
Well, at least you know. So if this is an evil empire, at least they you know, they'll at least accept the fact they're an evil empire instead of tweeting at like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning about how, you know, they didn't lose and how they're going back to Georgia
or how they are they gonna run in 2024 and all this bullshit.
Now, you know what? I kind of believe that, because I kind of believe this nigga will, like, he'll turn himself into like a cyborg, then run again.
Why wouldn't he? They love him, man. Why wouldn't they?
But again, like,
even beyond all the debts that are looming for him, you know, why wouldn't you run again? You're an ego. If you're an ego, and I know this is not about, you know, the Orange Man or whatever, and I'm not trying to say his name directly because YouTube is a little funny sometimes with that, even though we are a tiny channel. But it's not Orange Man bad. It's more about, you know, this is the structure of things that they want to be in place. Yeah. Democrat or Republican, the two wings flap on the same bird. They don't give a fuck about us, and we can only hope that they give enough of a fuck about us to do their jobs, which some do. But I don't know. Like, they're totally cool with us kind of like turning in the wind, man. Which is, I guess, not astonishing, but sickening. A little bit. Like you said, at least give me the chance. Give me the chance. Give me something. And I'm not even just asking for them one-time check or this check or that check, much as I would appreciate those, because, again, that is the direct answer to fixing shit like it was in the beginning of the year. Especially since
there's a lot of answers. But
there's a lot of answers. Well, they don't want to do it because it's that Dave Chappelle shit. They hold in the money and the jewels and the crown all to themselves. Like, they good money. Why would they care about us? Like, you see all these politicians left and right. Giuliani got COVID 3 days ago, whatever it is. He's rich enough to fucking probably recover from that shit.
Every time you see him on screen, he's sweating.
He's sweating, melting, like, because he knows the ride is probably coming to an end.
Shout out to who was that, Borat 2?
Yeah, exactly, for the
sex attacks.
Catching him trying to give the sex attack, you know, on an old girl, son, his daughter, son. Borat daughter, son. But you know, I guess spoilers for Borat 2. If you're trying to see that, go see that on Amazon Prime or bootleg or however the fuck you're gonna watch that.
That wasn't a plug. We just like.
I ain't sponsored by any niggas.
We just like the movie.
Yeah, I'm saying, yo, Jeff, if you want to give me some bread, son, please, like, you got it, bro. Like,
just come on the cast, man. You ain't
Jeff Bezos on the cast, and with your ex-wife, son. Could you imagine? Imagine how many snipers would come to my fucking apartment building in the middle of fucking East Williamsburg trying to kill me, and Jeff Bezos like trying to level my shit.
You gotta get them ratings, baby.
Yeah, somehow, right? The thumbnail is gonna be you and me, fucking Die Hard style, and wife beaters bleeding on my rooftop
all day.
Like, building half on fire. Jeff Bezos is like, the only way we're making it is if we jump off this motherfuckers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then that's how we became Jeff Bezos' bodyguards, man.
True indeed.
You need to write that movie right there.
I mean, it may be in production at some point, but we'll get back to that.
Bezos's bucks. Oh, it can't have his name in it. It's got to have some shit. It's got to be like a Bezos and a Bezos, however you say it, Bezos analog. Like, you know, that level of, you know, we got to come up with another name for Amazon or some shit that you know, like,
something real snazzy.
So yeah, at least we're getting funny with it now. Less doomsayer. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still have hope. You know, this year wasn't all bad. Like, I tried to get better habits. I tried to do better than I had in the past with myself, mentally, physically. All those things that we always say that we want to get our shit together for. And this time has given me the space to do that. And not just me. I feel like a lot of Americans who needed it, who were just working all the time, and not getting to develop their dreams or their aspirations or
just understand themselves.
Relax. You know what I'm saying? Just relax. Forget understanding it. Forget any level of epiphanic like moment you may have had. Like, just finally getting to look in your mirror and not being like, where do I gotta be? You know, a story I always think about, and this was long before the pandemic, obviously. I used to work in Forbidden Planet. Shout out to them, Forbidden Planet. Y'all my guys.
Name dropping.
You know, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sponsor me if you hear this episode at some point in the future. Fuck it. I certainly put a lot of work into that place.
Oh yes. Yes.
At any rate, like, shout out to them. And I used to work with someone there. One of my favorite coworkers. You know, shout out to you. I won't say what your actual name is because, you know, who knows like what you're into now or whatever. But you, my mans, you know, you'll if you ever hear this story, you know it's about you.
Yeah.
And he would always talk about how, you know, at one point in his life, you know, he had just been married for the first time and he was fucking running around all over the place and fucking like really trying to make it happen. Like, not only just for himself, but his wife and themselves, and having a nice apartment and making it in, like, you know, the comic industry, hopefully. And like, you know, trying to get all this shit off like all couples and families want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk about how every time, like, I would wake up out of bed and, like, hop out of it. Like, this dude, you know, is like Wolverine. Like, he looks like Wolverine, like, basically. Like, so imagine, like, you know, Wolverine, like, hopping out of his bed every morning. Like, where do I got to be? What do I got to do? Like, you know, he maybe slept 4 hours, maybe. Like, because he's just working. He's just out here hustling, trying to make it happen, trying to get, you know, go to martial arts class for himself, trying to fucking, you know, get his wife's, you know, comic career going, you know, in whatever ways he can to help her do that.
Trying to make shit happen, man.
He's trying to make, you know, be your dutiful husband, nigga. Like, you know, shout out to him, son. I know he got married to someone else, so shout out to them if that's still going on. You know, my guy. But I always think about that because I've been in that position too, where it's just like every time the phone alarm go off or every time you wake up before the alarm because of all the anxiety
the
you have about like the shit that you gotta do. Yeah. Or places you gotta be at, or whatever it is, and that's everybody. That's everybody nationwide. Where I gotta go? What do I gotta be? Shit, even in for niggas who are unemployed, you know, I'm not leaving y'all out. Like, I know what the anxiety is like of like, where do I gotta go? Where? Because you still gotta get up. You know, yeah, you might be able to sleep in a little bit, but you still gotta get up, look for work. You know what I'm saying? Improve that resume. Man. You gotta do something because you can't just sit there, like, you know, because the bills got to get paid and you feel this anxiety. And again, this is super.
You feel like the world is passing you by.
You know, guys, this is me. Like, you know, I'm not going to front and be like, oh, yeah, this is all y'all. And I'm straight and responsible. Nah, like, this is me, just like so many millions of y'all, you know, the millions of you who watch and listen to this podcast.
Millions.
The millions upon millions.
And the dozens.
You know, niggas is hurting too, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't, it doesn't escape me that I be, you know, on my P4 or whatever, playing X game, you know, Mortal Kombat, whatever. And
shout out to Mortal Kombat.
Then shout out to Mortal Kombat 11, Ultimate. Shout out to Ed Boon and them. And John Tobias, you know, can't mention one without the other. But
you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, like, you know, I'll be playing Mortal Kombat or whatever, hitting these fatal blows, and, you know, it'll just come to me being like, yo, I gotta pay the electric that, you know, keeps all this shit on. You know what I'm saying? Like, soon I gotta re-up on that PlayStation Plus that lets me, like, play people online. Like, soon I gotta
re-up on that bacon.
I gotta re-up on that bacon that I'm trying to eat that's chilling in my fridge right now that I'm about to throw in this, you know, chicken bacon salad that I'm about to eat or whatever, you know. Like, I gotta re-up on this gas that's keeping me warm in my apartment. in my apartment that I also have to pay for, because otherwise I'm on the street, like so many people like that I know and don't know, like.
I'm saying, and
and I'm just trying to play Mortal Kombat. Like that's all I'm trying to do. Like I'm just trying to enjoy my life. Like, and this is just the simple shit. You know what I'm saying? I know niggas have way more on their plate. Like I'm not trying to diminish like the struggles of everybody. Like I'm just saying that's just a small fragment. Of you just trying to enjoy your life, and you can't because you're thinking about all the things that attach to it, and all these things like that you gotta see to make sure that you're comfortable. And don't get me wrong, like I'm grateful for the little bit that I do have, even though it is a little bit. But it's hard to constantly like enjoy the food on your plate when you're worried about where the next plate coming from.
I mean, that's where it starts, man. You have to count your blessings and then accept whatever comes after that. But honestly, I mean, look, if you work, you keep yourself humble and you do what you need to do, and like you said earlier, you do right by people.
Or you do your best anyway, because you're not always going to do the right thing.
No, what I mean by do right is do right by the people who mean the most to you.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, it is what it is, and, we can't help everybody, but if you help most of the people that are in your life, then karma should go your way, man. And I believe in karma. Not no religion, none of that shit, but I do believe in karma because you can actually see that shit coming back, son. You can really be like, all right, yeah, I fucked up over here, so that's why this is happening to me now. And, for what it's worth, I'm all the way cool with that, man. Because, again, that like at least I have a shot. At least I have a chance, all right? If I do something, then, hey, I'll either know that it's either going to reciprocate or come back negatively, but at the end of the day, that was me. I did that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever comes based upon that was based upon whatever I did, and I'm all right with that,
What advice do you have for people who are despairing? Obviously circumstances are what they are. People have the money they have or don't have. Yeah. Like shit is what it is. But like, what do you propose for people, because we talked about how we just wanted to talk about how this year was and how fucked up that was. And I referenced, 2 minutes ago or a minute ago about how I try to improve like my mental state because I'm a depressive. Like I fully admit that. Yeah. I fall into vortexes all the time. Yeah. I am not good with that unless, I exercise or, have the therapy when I'm able, to have the insurance, fortunately, to get a therapist.
Honestly, bro, like, for me, I think that's most people, son.
I know, so that's why I asked, like, what, I don't want to say, like, you have all the answers because no one does, but...
yeah, I'm not bored and I'm not Dr. Phil.
He don't have the answers either. He just know Oprah, son.
Again, I'm no fucking expert, but the reality is, and I'm not gonna say I've been all over the world and shit, but having come across just various different individuals and different personalities, it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it starts with like Cat Williams used to be like, look in the mirror because you're looking at your number one fan right there. Like, look in that mirror and be like, are we good?
Ideally, yes.
But at the same time, look, that takes work. That does. It takes work. I'm somebody like, I live inside my head, so it's a little easier for me, but at the same time, like, I still get it because who wants to see themselves in that dark light? But at the same time, when you see yourself in that dark light, then when you actually step into the light, what you doing? You shining.
Yeah, spurs change. This anime Tower of God, some of y'all may know it. If not, go check that.
I still need to. I remember you talking about that when I was watching y'all role play.
Yeah, that shit was. Yeah. That anime is that shit, and the only reason I'm so invested in it is because I read the webtoon version of it. Shout out to webtoons. If y'all fuck with manga or cartoons or whatever, if y'all like to read, content like that, especially if you're commuting, webtoons is the jam. So they have a series called Tower of God, which is written by someone called Slave in Utero. I don't know if they have revealed what their new name or their real name is or who they are, any of that. But, that's who they identify themselves as on the site. So I, said for years that like this should be a show. I'm super invested in this. It's amazing.
Yes.
And they finally did it. Webtoons and Crunchyroll got together.
Shout out to Crunchyroll. Still gotta get that account.
They got together and they made the show happen. And I watched the first season, and the last line in the whole of the entire season, even though I read this before, like read the comic before and knew what was gonna happen and all that, but just like Game of Thrones, in which I had read all the books before and knew was going to happen, even though it changed a lot of shit.
Right.
It hit me so emotionally because at the end of the season, not to spoil too much, but like the main character is like, as usual, as many season finales, the main character is fucked up in some way and is saved from death, luckily. But the line that a character says, like, to close the season, that isn't the main character, but the one that like kind of rescues him, says, stars always shine brightly, especially in the dark.
Oh, yes.
And then the show ends, and I'm over here like fucking crying, like in my room to myself. And because that really like touched me, even though I had, again, read this comic before and knew what was going to happen and all these things, like seeing it animated and seeing like, these characters.
I've seen the visual, like the act, like a real like motion animation.
Yeah, it was super touching. And
you saw the comic come to life.
And again, that line, I had forgotten about it because at this point the comic is so far along in its plot. Like this is still the very beginning. This first season that Tower of God covers. So, it hit me in a fresh way, and I thought about that line for days, like days and days. I tweeted
some
it.
Shit you gotta analyze, bro.
And I really thought about it because it's like nothing. It's nothing crazy or like nothing super poetic or anything, but it's still good. It's still very good, and it touches you in a way that you didn't expect. And I really take that to heart now. Like, and it's not like, this anime is my reason for living. Like, it inspired me. Like, it really inspired me. And I had already been feeling this feeling throughout the year because, again, if this is the end of the fucking world, however it's gonna come down, if this is the fall of the American Empire through either socioeconomic collapse or economic collapse or whatever it is. Excuse me. I want to be ready in some way. Like I at least want to say I was working out and like to get that 6-pack that I've always wanted, or fucking to get big, or to fucking get that strength I always wanted. It's not even about looking good. Like I just wanted that strength. Like, and to say that I finally did that work for myself. I always wanted to be a better writer, so I'm doing that every day to do that. Or at least to the best of my ability. Like,
as you should.
I am not wholly confident, but at least I'm still doing it because that's what I am good at, or good at enough to care about getting better at.
Yeah, that's what keeps a nigga from going crazy.
Definitely, especially since in a lot of ways, because we've had to stay inside. I understand that your home can feel like a jail cell. Shit can be very isolating. Like, even though my partner, and thank you again for this because it did mean a lot to me, was gracious enough to let me be with his family for Thanksgiving. Like, my own family, like, I couldn't be with them because they are either in another state in Florida where I am super afraid to go to because of the things that are happening down there as far as COVID and politics. And
shout out to the fam in Florida.
And all that. And luckily they're safe and everything is fine. But, like, I would have loved to have seen my own family for Thanksgiving, and I couldn't even have that. And part of that is due to not only, the pandemic and this virus and whatever, which, niggas couldn't control, but what niggas could control is their response to it. And I don't want to point fingers or none of that. Like, I'm bored just like the rest of y'all. I want to go out just like the rest of y'all. I want to fucking go to movies and all these things like I mentioned before. It's just like the rest of y'all. But I'll stay the fuck home if that's what it takes to fucking make sure that everyone's okay. And they really should just pay us all already instead of just bullshitting. But, this is what they do. So, I can't really complain too much about that and try to make it happen for myself. And that's what this year has been about, making it happen for myself, more so than anything, any year ever. Like, I've been on, and again, I don't want to play the sad violin. Like, we all ate it, we've all eaten it in so many ways. Like,
all day.
I've been on my own since I was 17. Like, and I had a lot of help. I had a lot of help from friends and family. I've never had to be like really on the street like that. I've never really had to worry about, super worry about where my next food was coming from. I could at least like fucking get some change together and fucking eat dollar pizza, or fucking, if it comes to it, then I'm having sleep for dinner, and I gotta save that money for my Metro card to go to work, or eat that pizza the next day because that's what I could afford. You know what I'm saying? Or eat that Chef Boyardee because that shit is $1.39 or whatever, and that's what I got. You know, that's what I could scrape together.
Man, keep on it, man.
You know, man's at the bodega is like, that's $2.10, and you're like, yo, I don't got it today. And he's like, it's okay, Poppy, you can have it. You know, because he knows that's what I got.
Shout out, man. Shout
out to that guy, son. So I don't want to diminish none of y'all, but at the same time, it's like I've been trying to crawl out of the hole myself. And why not do it under the most dire of circumstances? And I understand that, you know, a lot of dudes can't work right now. That a lot of dudes just can't do a lot right now. You're just handcuffed. So am I. But
there's still
there's still stuff to do. There's still ways in which you can kind of, you know, I don't want to say pull yourself by your bootstraps because fuck that shit. I hate that ideology. But there are ways to bolster yourself and as I mentioned earlier, that have been dulled by the fact that all we do is fucking work or look for work. Or fucking worry about work, or worry about where this next money's coming from.
Understand that
we don't improve ourselves, like, you know what I'm saying. You hear
you distracted.
You hear all these people talk about, well, get money, my nigga, get money, and you'll be all right. And okay, great, get money, but like,
how are you all right?
Yeah, like you got money, but
are you okay?
Are you okay? Like, do niggas care about you? Do niggas like? And besides the fact that you got bread, like. Yeah, and I don't want to say, you know, more money, more problems, because that's obvious. But at the same time, it's like
that shit is true. It's a cliche, but it's fucking true.
I want to strive in the way that it matters. Like, and again, I repeat this. I like stuff and things as much as the next dude.
We all do.
I would love to have the fat check. I would love, you know, give me $1 million tomorrow. That will quench most of my fucking problems in my life. Dead ass. Like immediately. But I need, you know, niggas need more than that, I guess, because money always runs out. You know, money is up and down. Yeah. You know, good times don't last forever. You know, the all that cliche shit that niggas say. Like,
you gotta make your money work for you, man.
Or I want to make me also work for me, because then I can continue to make money or make the advances I need to make.
That's what I mean,
to keep the game going. You know, right? Like you're a businessman, right? Like, you know, you're the business like degree nigga. Like you have to be able to somehow keep your shit solvent. You know, and I understand that capitalism is flawed in the way that it believes in that, but ultimately the ideals are true in that you want to keep your shit at least, you know, above water so that you can provide the service that you provide, or provide, you know,
just live comfortably, bro.
Yeah, that's all, like, or even beyond that, like yeah, you got your bread, whatever, but just to at least be able to enjoy the thing you do, beyond anything, to some degree, you know, hopefully.
Nah, some people work their asses off and can't enjoy none of their fucking, like, they can't enjoy anything because they're always working, man. And I get that. I'm always for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to think about the present and the future, but you have to stop every now and then and be like, yo, you know what? I did this. I'm actually doing shit, man. I'm accomplishing shit. You know, don't worry about, I don't have this, I don't have that. Like, yo, I have this, I have that. Cool. Now I want this, I want that.
As a businessman, what do you, you know, because I asked you, like, you know, what do you do with despair? But, like, you know, how do you deal with it in this, like, in these tangible ways? Because a lot of people, and rightfully so, will say, well, that, you know, dignity and hard work and shadow work and self-reflection and all these things that we need to do for ourselves doesn't put money, like money or food in my fridge, or doesn't fucking, you know, keep the drinks and the weed flowing, or doesn't keep the girls coming over because you got to pay for them. Like, how am I going to get money, nigga? Or how am I going to, you know, what can I, and you already spoke to that, you know, already spoke to, like, the mindset you need to have to do so. But I recognize that there are a lot of dudes who want the tangible answer of, like, what steps can I take tomorrow, you know, to fucking, to reach my dreams, I guess, or get that check or get that bag that niggas, you know, are always chasing.
I mean, well, the bag right now.
I mostly just, you know, besides obviously your personal experience, like, I want your education here, because in those schools they teach you certain things that don't always sync up with reality.
No,
but they will still hammer into your head. So, what was your experience in what they were telling you and what you learned in becoming a businessman / having, you know, all this education that you've gotten? Yeah. You know, what have you gleaned from that?
I mean, the funniest shit is, in regards to that question, the best lessons I got were outside of the classroom. You know what I'm saying?
And also, how can they apply to, and even if it's obviously everyday nigga lessons, you know what I'm saying?
It is in certain regards. I mean, I could say the same cliche shit of, you know what I'm saying, have a good network, or, it's about who you know. But right now, the reality is, based upon, again, depending on what you do, you know what I'm saying, like, you may have to bite the bullet or you may not, you know what I'm saying, because again, right now we both do security, so, and we both have experience with that shit, so therefore it's like you're already licensed and you kind of have experience with that shit. Now, right now, it's kind of hard to attain certain skill sets based upon, again, pandemic situations and so on and so forth. But
yeah, we literally can't work or train. As a quick aside, I just wanted to give a quick example. A friend of mine wants to learn a suite of Adobe programs, for example, in a program that's being offered. Yeah. Only 15 people make it out of thousands because that's valuable skills that you can learn there. And that's great. Like, I think he should shoot for that. And he was like, yo, you want to do it with me or whatever? I was like, yeah, but the problem with that is you have to go there for them to train you. Yeah. And I'm sure they have precautions, and I'm sure they wouldn't offer it if they weren't trying to be safe with it.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, like, that's my immediate misgiving is like, damn, like, I'm allowing this barrier to keep me from getting the skills. Like, I was basically offering him mad excuses as to why I couldn't do it.
No, honestly, look.
And he was like, "Nah, you can do it, dude. Like, I'm trying to do it. Like, just go and do it." And so that's what I wanted to talk to, like, real quickly.
I get that. And look, at the end of the day, just because of the times we're living in, some of those situations aren't really excuses. That's just reality. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of right there myself, because it's like, all right, yeah, I could take this job, but I won't. But so on and so forth. But honestly, if you can get some like some serious skill set right now, I would suggest doing that, man, because ultimately the best thing, especially times like this, you always need those recession-proof jobs, you know what I mean? And,
right.
And those vary, and obviously situation through situation, those do kind of vary. Honestly speaking, I may try to set up shop with this myself, but the wave, honestly, from here until let's say April or June 2021, learn how to prepare taxes, man. Because these days, it's a lot of motherfuckers that's gonna have to end up doing that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that still don't know how to do the shit. So.
Especially since they try to front on you. TurboTax tries to make you pay, even though they said that they have the free version. Yeah. And then make it mad hard to find for you, so that you have to pay anyway.
Yeah. So, just shit like that. Again, just invest in yourself. Just however you can get as many skills as you can.
There's that word again.
All day. Just learn as much as you fucking can, because ultimately, and this is another cliche, you know what I'm saying, they can't take knowledge from you. And that knowledge ultimately will be what helps you regardless of whatever you go through. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm not a reader, but, catch up on your reading now, too, because we all have a lot of time on our hands right now, man.
True indeed. Our podcast is taking a weird kind of Reza Aslan kind of turn. Which, again, I'm cool with that. Shout out to him.
I mean, well, first of all, we know of him for certain reasons, because, we're trying to better ourselves, man. And, those who listen to us, we're trying to help better you, however we can.
I would hope so. Not that you niggas owe me shit. I'm just some nigga who runs his mouth in his bedroom for fun.
Yes.
I don't even... There's no goal. I mean, I guess the goal here is sanity. When we do these things,
just conversations we have, and we
I don't want to downplay any of this shit.
But these are conversations we know that everybody else is having, man, because we're having them shits.
I would hope so. And and again, I don't want to be the doomsayer dude, but it's hard to have faith in your fellow man when so many of them. And I don't want to harp on conservatives here or anything like that. Y'all could be conservatives. I don't want to shit on y'all for where your affiliations lie.
But at the end of the day, just be a human being.
But at the same time, it's like, 70 million people voted for a madman, essentially a madman.
But look, a lot of those people were scared, man.
I get it. I get everyone has their reasons, whether it ranged from white supremacy or I just wanted to see what happened or whatever it is. He gave me a tax cut, like 50 said, like I'm not mad at y'all. At least y'all have some level of reason, whatever it is.
Yeah, all day.
Or
all
you're
day.
MAGA, like bet, like do what you do. But at the same time, like the fact that so many people voted against what is essentially their self-interest out of not just a man, but an administration and a culture, whether politically or otherwise, who again is running shit, like
a lot of lunacy, man.
A lot of madmen, like definitely in charge where they should not be in charge, and we keep voting for them anyway. And I understand that madmen are going to make it into power for whatever reason, but it's incredible. Like it's incredible. Again, this isn't just about white America or conservative America or any of that. Like, there are plenty of Latinos for Trump, gays for Trump, women for Trump.
It's a lot.
This person for Trump, that person for Trump, blacks for Trump, like blacks
and
for
to
Trump.
a degree, I understand that, man. I truly do. I understand all of that, man. Like he provides a certain persona that they want to believe in.
Exactly. Again, America, niggas always address toxic masculinity and things like that. Like he is.
Yeah.
He is a shining example of that. A man who essentially has had the world handed to him from jump.
A shining toupee.
From a man who worked way harder than him to attain it. And a man who historically has not worked well as a teammate or a partner or a financial guy that you can trust, because
or somebody that's been into anything real, but
real bankruptcy is some shit, but
if you're born in the money, it's
but again, like it's not like son was ever gonna be on the street.
Bankruptcy for him ain't the same as like, you started this company, your shit fell.
Nah, he ain't like niggas. No. He may have seen the Repo Man, maybe, but niggas ain't take like nigga last couch and all he got his place.
Dudes like him, they file bankruptcy just to get away from shit.
Exactly. And so. Again, I don't want to shit on the rich people or the whatever people or whatever. It's not about that. What it's about is this mindset. Again, this mindset of like, all right, like I got mine, so like fuck the rest of y'all. Like I'm
gonna get mine. You better get yours.
You better get yours, because I did it, right. If I could do it, you could do it too. Even though again, Mans was handed $400 million upon the death of his father. It's not even like Mans was getting his own money.
No.
While he was a teenager or a young man or any of that.
The quintessential silver spoon in the mouth.
Fred, I supported the KKK. Trump handed his son that bread.
The good old boys.
So much bread. And you saw what Mans has done with it. At least we did in New York, because we've been watching this clown since we were little kids. Like be a clown, like publicly, like
I'm saying. I remember the USFL days,
and niggas allowed it because again, America has this obsession with rich white dudes who are getting away with murder, morally reprehensible behavior, etc. Because
I would say just rich dude or rich individuals,
white dudes especially, because they are glorified for this. Like
we've grown a little bit, son.
Yes, some. Yes, some. I'll give you that. But at the same time, this man's our president. Like, if that was the case, Michael Jordan should be president. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. He ain't necessarily qualified, but I'm just saying he fits that mold of who we value as a country.
That's why I'm saying. That's why we.
Why isn't a guy like, I was gonna say Donald Sterling? God, fuck no. The current owner, Steve Ballmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't some other rich nigga like president? If this is the logic we are constantly applying
that's what I was saying,
to
boy.
our country,
and that's why.
And again, to your expertise here as a business nigga, that's gonna be your alternate like fucking nickname, business nigga.
I'm really not.
More than me, way more than me.
I'm really not. But yeah, go ahead.
Nah, you're gonna be business nigga. You're the boss. Son. You're the boss.
No, I'm not.
You're the boss.
No.
That's an inside joke between us.
No.
But as business nigga, what I'm saying is that the MO for what it has been since, let's say, the late 70s. We could say post World War II because we were flying high then, right?
Yeah.
But let's say the 70s till now, roughly.
Right.
Does it pay to run this country like a business? Because clearly it doesn't seem to be. Like, given that we keep putting either businessmen in charge and in key positions of power, or people who are totally not like qualified like to be in these positions of power, just because they have a lot of money and they donate it to the right campaigns and shit. Is that feasible as a business person, like, to you? Like would you as a business person invest in this government? Like to run it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least to be a cog in the machine or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously beyond any self-interest you may have in gaining power, like as a servant.
No.
Like,
just logically, no.
Like,
no. Logically, no, because you would have to dead ass fuck the whole foundation up and rebuild it. Now,
would you say that's what we have to do anyway?
I'm not gonna say that on air, but I mean, no, honestly,
I will do.
No,
I'm not afraid.
Because the reality is, son, that's what the shit has been based off of, man. It's been based off of a lot of negativity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of negativity, a lot of dick swinging, a lot of ego, and a lot of dumb shit, man.
All right, so, assuming, and obviously there's a lot to assume because it's never going to be this way,
right?
Because of the temperamental beings that we are.
Right.
Assuming you could somehow remove the ego trap from all of this, is it still feasible to run the country like as a business, as something that is generating, because it is, without America, like the world's economy is fucked, right? So
because, look, as Americans, we rally the troops like none other. Like, I don't say like none other, but outside like the Middle East and North Korea, we rally the troops. But again, boy, that's why I wouldn't mind if The Rock put his bid in for president right now, son.
Fuck it, might as well, right?
President
at this
Dwayne
point,
Johnson, son.
We've already had all sorts of clowns and charlatans and ridiculousness.
I mean, like, if he is the president, niggas will be intimidated by us, son. Like,
that's true.
They will be intimidated.
Niggas ain't gonna punk The Rock.
No, they won't. And they like The Rock, so
it'll be like Idiocracy. We'll have our own
Terry Crews,
our own President Camacho.
Macho.
President Camacho Macho. So Dwayne Elizondo Camacho. Is that his name or something like that?
Like, what's your man with
Mountain Dew? Yeah, Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho.
With Samuel as vice president, son.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? But
why not over Luke Wilson?
Yes, definitely over Luke Wilson, but that's a different topic. But business-wise, America is like a real, I don't want to say a shitty crib, but it's a crib that needs a lot of work. Now, you could buy it for the low and build it up, cool, but you still got to fucking redo that foundation, though. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what
I
you
agree,
do.
but the issue seems to be, and I know this is a weird image here, but follow me. It'd be like buying the Playboy Mansion, right?
Right.
You know, like, the lore, or maybe you don't, but you have some semblance of, like, the lore and the history and all these things that have taken place, whether good or bad, in this place.
Mad stains in the crib.
All of it, the couches is gross. You're not sure about them, whatever.
There's a weird smell.
Are you tearing down the Playboy Mansion to put up something nice and new for yourself?
It depends on what I'm building.
A mansion.
No. I wouldn't break that shit down.
No, it's your property. It's your property. Like, what are you?
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't break it down to build another mansion. If I'm doing that, I'm breaking everything down and building like some. I'm building the fucking. I'm building Playboy land. Okay. That's what I'm doing.
See, that's inventive. Like, that's a business idea. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I was thinking more like, this is just your land. You could build a new house on it. Like, it's whatever.
Because again, like you said, the lore and just shit, the property alone out there.
And the reason I oppose that is there are niggas who would never tear that down. Like, you know what I'm saying? They would just have it up And
shit, I might not. I may turn that shit into a museum. But
or like you said, hey, you would build this hypothetical Playboy land around it.
But no. Do I like in the way that you presented it? I'm not going to use it in the way that it was used before. But at the same time, yes, it has that mystique. Yes, that's kind of like the.
And I guess that's what I'm pointing to, because I feel like a lot of dudes would be like, "Word, like I bought the Playboy mansion. Now I'm gonna fucking have my own."
And you ain't got no bitches.
And let's say you do, man.
You're
rich, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you got money, you can find bitches. And
that's fine, but you ain't, again, you don't just buy the Playboy mansion, okay?
I'm just assuming there's no hurdles, right? You just buy the shit, whatever. But
I'm just saying, you don't buy that unless you have some sort of plan for it.
Something. I'm just saying that there will be many a dude, like, I'm not saying that, oh, you talking about yourself, like you're saying, oh, because I feel like a lot of people have questioned that in me lately when I say, well, many would say, there's like, no, that means you would want to do this. I was like, nah, I don't. If I'm buying a Playboy mansion, I'm tearing that shit down. Like, I'm tearing that shit down. That's just my land now. I'm gonna build another mansion on it, like, or some shit. Like, I'm gonna build some shit.
Fair enough.
Fuck it, I'll build an apartment building on that if I fucking feel like it. Just to fuck with Hugh Hefner. R.I.P.
R.I.P. But
just to fuck with the sex ghosts that may be on that land.
Fuck the sex ghosts and mad sex slaves still there, son. Mad sex slaves and cookies, nigga.
In the tunnels underneath the land.
And the grotto, nigga. I always wanted that, son.
The grotto, to have a grotto. Yeah.
Woo, shout out to the grotto.
A grotto. I think that's what people just want, the grotto.
Oh, yes. And his movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah, especially since that seems to be much easier to pull off these days, like to build.
Yes.
It wasn't like it was before. You could get a projector. You could get all that shit now.
And a lot of people forget that the original Playboy Mansion was in Chicago, but, you know, that's... I would love to... I got to find out what building that is now. But, yeah, before he went to Cali, the original Playboy situation used to be in Chicago. That's what, like, it was like... Kind of like a little after hours.
Yeah, it was a goon spot. Probably it was like the super goon spot.
It was basically almost. I don't want to say it was Studio 54, but because it was way classier than that. But it was, you know.
But it was though. Like essentially, it was us. You know. I mean, listen. Again, Andrew Bynum. Your boy Andrew Bynum ain't getting there by no accident, bro. Like he had to win chips to even step foot in that motherfucker. Son.
And then he lost his mind.
Well, clearly, the grotto did something to your man.
Well, I mean, you could say that about.
Well, that and knee injuries.
That and him, you know, having a perm with a fro.
Nah, he tried to go natural with the locks when he was on Philly.
Boy, well, first of all, son, he had about 84 different hairstyles in Philly, so
that's true.
I'm saying,
but not 84 games.
No. Shout out to Kobe, man.
R.I.P. my guy.
Shout out to Lamar Odom too, man.
Thank God you're still alive, my guy.
Yeah, thank God the Kardashians didn't totally ruin you, man.
Not yet. It's not over yet.
See, I was trying to give your man a chance, and you just you just threw him right back.
It seems like when it comes to that squad, son, once they got their claws in you,
I'm saying
it's over. Like it's super over. Like,
I mean, there's a few words that can be addressed.
Your man Tristan Thompson is still in the safe, son. Tristan Thompson, son. He's still out there, son.
He's another NBA champion, though.
That was what were we talking about earlier when talking about levels, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, Chloe ain't gonna go out with fucking, you know, no offense to you, Malik Beasley, having sex with Larsa Pippen and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying, well, your man James Harden saw what it was.
You know what I'm saying? No one, you know, CJ Watson, you my mans, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
CJ, well, that was the best he was gonna do anyway.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Chloe ain't trying to fuck you these days, son. She's a millionaire.
But again, nobody was trying to. CJ was CJ, son.
You know, you shot a good 3-point percentage though. You my guy.
He was alright for about 2-3 years, but yeah.
Well, he was another one. He came up in the wrong era. I would say he would have been a serviceable gunner in the modern NBA for sure.
Even the late one, because he was a nice. You know, we're getting into sports now, but he was a nice 3-and-D point guard, much like your man Derek Fisher. So
fuck Derek Fisher.
Shout out to brother Scrams. You know, he was, you know, he could have been in that role, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So, I mean, we're talking about the end of the world.
Yeah, we sorry, we do that, you know. sports is so intertwined, and it's funny. I kind of want to talk to this a little bit. Even though we kind of addressed this. I think a couple episodes ago in one of the basketball joints, one of the last playoff bubble episodes we did. But I don't know. I want to talk to this again because it's really affected me in a way. Like, and I understand. Bron, you did what you had to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that ring. Like, I'm not mad. AD got the ring. I'm not mad. Dwight got the ring. Like, those things are cool.
For them things.
But I guess I pushed the question to you again, and maybe I'm repeating myself a little bit, so you don't have to go too deep into this. But
always go deep.
All the way to the floor, son.
How deep that is, baby.
Should they have played? Like, should any of these niggas have played? Like, because I feel like, again, every other week, this is not even so much a basketball thing, but I only bring it up in the basketball way because after the Kenosha shootings, they were going to walk away, the whole league, all of them, and not play, which I think they should have done given that their angle was, Black Lives Matter and, like, activism and all that this year.
No, actually, that shit happened a couple of times, at least, like, 3 times, and, yeah, they just rocked out, but definitely
and I get it.
Definitely Milwaukee.
Dudes got to make
Wisconsin,
money.
Definitely Toronto.
Dudes got to make money. I get that. Not everybody obviously is gonna say, "All right, I took this risk to come out and play, and then now I'm gonna go home and not like potentially see the rest of these playoff checks or whatever." Like, I get that. I get why they decided to go on. Niggas had to recoup the money, but like
all day.
And it's easy for me as someone who is broke for the most part. Compared to these guys is what I will say. Compared to these guys, I'm broke. So like, it's easy for me as a serf to look at millionaires and be like, yo, y'all niggas y'all should take the season off. Make that stand if y'all really about it. Especially a nigga like Bron, like who got more money than God right now. So like, I don't know. Like I felt ways about that. Again, I want to see basketball. I had a very good time in this
the bubble.
In the bubble and this kind of weird extended dream postseason thing that we had, but like, and like some very good basketball was played, and it got me through some like sad times, honestly. Like, like I was really here for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though niggas lashed out against it, I thought this end of the season was one of the best ever. And I said the postseason last year was the best postseason ever because of the theatrics of it and everything. But like this was special, and again, I'm meandering a bit, but the point is that. Despite all that, and despite all the fun I had, and despite all the content we got from it, and all these things, like I still maintain that these niggas, should have really, and not that they weren't taking a stand, and not that they weren't protesting, and not that they did nothing, but like it would have been huge if they just really like had the sack to just stay the fuck home and then go ride it into the next season, and the next season is the next season.
No.
Could you imagine how legendary that would have been? There is no NBA champion for the 2020 season. None.
No, that'd be like
how crazy would that have been?
That'd have been what, like 95 in baseball? 95 or was that 94? I forgot.
94, 95. All these lockouts and strikes took place around the same time.
Makes sense. I mean, like, truth be told, like, hindsight is 2020, but at the same time, for me, and from like listening and paying attention to what all the players were talking about, especially LeBron, shout out to LeBron. I'm not gonna say I was rooting for him, but he got his 4th chip. So.
I certainly was not. I'm not mad at him that he won it.
Yeah, he deserved it. He did, but I wasn't rooting for him.
But I wanted Denver to sneak that out. I needed that so bad. I needed to be right about that so fucking bad. Right, well, you guys have no idea.
Save that for the.
I mean, I already talked about this.
Right,
we've covered it. It's fine. It's okay.
Folks, stay tuned.
There's next year. We'll see Denver next year for sure.
Stay tuned for the end of the year dropkick.
Oh yeah, man. We'll do that quick promo at the end for that.
Yes. But honestly, there was spiritually and. Like there was a lot of spiritual shit involved with that. It was a lot of honestly, it was a lot of unity involved, and truthfully, in a modern time where when you talk about professional sports, you don't see a lot of fucking unity, man. And that's why, like, all right, yeah, they got paid for this shit, but most of those players, they were really just there to play, man. and they were there to play, yeah, because it was entertainment, but at the same time, like that's what they do. But they also realize, like, all right, society, like in regards to society, like we like they have a very, truthfully, honestly, like people say that they have a very minimal role, but after this year and like that bubble shit, like you see how impactful athletes truly are, and like we haven't seen shit like that since like the 60s, the 70s, you know what I'm saying, where athletes really had, well, I won't say all athletes, but in this regard, the basketball players who, you know, truthfully, most of them are the more popular athletes, but they showed the fact that, all right, we could play, we can't play. They decided to play just because they was like, yo, shit is fucked up right now. And not only are we entertainment to you know, the I don't want to say the common folk, but we're entertainment to the masses, but us showing unity and us coming out, you know, doing what they do with, you know, not having their names on the jerseys, Black Lives Matter, you know, equality, unity, all that different stuff. It emphasized exactly what we needed to be emphasized, because there's a lot of times where like shit have happened, you know, like no, I won't even go into all the extra shit, but you know, dudes being killed by cops, you know, women being shot in their own crib by cops, all types of extra shit. But those things happen, and then not to say that it went away, but like it wasn't emphasized. Like the imprint wasn't there. Like, you know, nobody was really stomping that shit out. You know what I'm saying? So with this, it was like, all right, that shit is here, and we're not gonna let it go nowhere. We're gonna play these games. We're gonna be in this bubble, but every time we get a chance, and every time y'all see us, we're gonna show y'all why we're really here. Yeah, it's to play, but it's also to get these messages across. It's also to be like, yo, we stand for something other than the sport. We stand for something that, again, like I said, we stand for unity amongst human beings, amongst us being Americans, amongst us being, you know, countrymen, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But yeah, we come together for this game, but at the same time, there's a bigger purpose and there's a bigger message. And ultimately, again, I like, for me, that's what the bubble really represented. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the game, but at the same time, they stayed there and they did what they did to keep shit in that bubble. You know what I'm saying? Whether like theoretically or, you know, actually doing it.
Yeah, I hear that. I still feel the way that I feel, though that was a incredibly well-reasoned and impassioned argument, and also, you know, one that they were saying and pushing forth. It's just, obviously, I feel the sincerity of it coming more out of your mouth than out of a mouth of a millionaire or a billionaire in Bron's case.
You know, they can only say so much. Though,
and that doesn't make it any less genuine, and that doesn't make it unimportant, because, again, he could just say nothing and be a spoiled asshole and not care, but he does. So
yeah.
I give him props all day. Like, again, I'm not the biggest Bron fan, but I give him all the credit in the world for all that outreach work he does, all that money work he does, all this stuff that he does for kids. Yeah. Like, you know, it matters. It doesn't matter what the intention behind it is. It matters what, you know, what action is committed, you know, and at least that something good can come out of what he's trying to accomplish, especially since he has stated multiple times about how hard it was. I went through the same thing he did. Like, I went through a life of a single parent household with, you know, a single working mother who was working all the time.
Yeah, man.
And killing themselves and trying to make it happen for everybody. And you had siblings, you know what I'm saying? Like, luckily it was just me. Like, but, you know, you have women killing themselves and trying to make it happen for the kids. And I see why he has the values that he does. And so I don't want to diminish any of those things and just be like, oh, he's spoiled. And I make fun of him all the time. And I say fuck LeBron James all the time. And I say Hollywood Bron all the time, and I make all these jokes I make, but it doesn't mean
that's all on the court.
Man. You know what I'm saying? That's all about basketball. Like, it's not about the things he does. I don't have, like, I think about how the hatred is vitriolic, you know, and he don't need me defending him or none of that. But like, I think about the hatred for this man, and I was like, I don't really share that. Like,
No, I don't hate him. I just
want to see you in the finals. That's it. It's like
yeah,
I don't.
That's in the game.
I don't
that's
care. Like that's what I'm saying.
I
I don't care that you're doing good for people. I don't care that you don't do. I don't care that you're doing another Space Jam. I'll watch it. Like hopefully it doesn't suck ass. But like,
nah, I ain't paying for that. But
I'm not paying.
Honestly,
for that.
we probably won't have to pay for it unless that's on.
Nah, that shit's gonna stream. Baby.
It got to be on Disney.
That's gonna be on that HBO Max or whatever it's gonna be on. But
Disney's taking that.
You know, whatever. It's gonna be. It's already made. So or is done. So like. We'll see it somewhere. But the point is that like I don't have any enmity towards this man. No, and I can appreciate that he does the good that he does for the world because he doesn't have to. Especially since there are niggas way richer than this motherfucker. And he's a rich man. Like way richer than this motherfucker who will do nothing.
No.
And make way more flowery speeches than he does. Say all this lip service. Say what they're about and all that. But, you know, they only donate because it's tax deductible. Not because they fucking... And yeah, maybe some are doing out of the goodness of their hearts, but largely it's because it's tax deductible and you're getting all that shit right back. So who cares?
You win either way.
It's good PR, and hey, I'm not mad at you for getting good PR, man. Like, do what you do, but don't sit there and pretend that you like really give a shit about me when you can't even give. And I know my hate is directed toward Bezos, but it's directed towards like niggas who are at that high level, like. Your lowest worker should be happy if he's going to fucking kill himself working for you. Yeah. Literally, in some cases, kill himself working for you. And you won't give it to him because you get a couple more cents. Like, you make millions an hour, practically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Practically. And your company probably runs itself at this point. Like, given how huge it is. And you can't fucking... do something, my nigga. Like you talking about, you know, environmental shit and we want to give back and plant trees and yeah, that's great. Thank you. But you have your workers are dying on your premises, my nigga. Like yours.
Those are breadcrumbs, man.
And it ain't just you. He ain't the only evil nigga in the world. Like it's not just him. It's just that he's the richest, so he's a shining target. It's easy to point at him.
Yeah, those who really run shit, man. You know, those who that handful of people who really run shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I still feel the way I feel, you know, but obviously again it's easy for me to sit in my chair and be like, yeah, these niggas should have hung it up. You know, all these niggas, not just them, the NHL, NFL, all of them should just hung it up. All of them should have just hung it up. And that's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. And again, I don't want to ever get in the way of anyone's bread. You know, you got to do what you had to do, especially wrestlers. I talked about this extensively. I still feel very much like those companies should have paid those salaries, but it's easy for me to say that without knowing what the numbers are, without, again, being a professional, without being a businessman, without, you know, fucking going to school for any of this shit. But I will, again, I'll keep that same energy for the viewpoint I had. Like, it would have made such an impact for, and I'm not saying, again, these athletes don't take a stand in any way. I'm not saying they don't do anything. I'm saying, you know, I'm not on my Laura Ingraham shit where I'm just like, niggas should just shut up and dribble or fucking give their whole fortunes away or do all these things that us serfs, again, on the internet demand that they do. It's more about like you had a chance to really show massa how y'all felt about shit, and you know obviously Adam Silver got in y'all ear, and you know you got to be professional and you got to do what you have to do and you have to uphold your contractual agreements and you got to fucking play for that championship. I'm not mad at any of that, you know. Niggas will do what they must. It was just hard to see people who are powerful in this world, especially many of them black millionaires, giving up more power. And again, you have to concede some shit sometimes, or a lot of times anyway, in our case. But I don't know. I don't want to circle talk a little bit. I see why they did what they did. I hope that they will push forward in this direction that they were in, which is to be, you know, even to the chagrin and dismay and hate of many fans throughout the country. I hope that they continue this kind of political stretch of like, we care about you. We care about you, the fan. Like your money drives us. Without you, we are nothing. Without your obsession, we are nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And granted, many people argue without the players, we are nothing being amazing, but, you know, they fucking strive for us. And yes, for themselves, and yes, for their team and all that. But, like...
It's entertainment at the end of the day, man.
They got a show to put on, and that's what they put on the jersey for. And again, I will repeat that I don't care. I'm not hitting this shut up and dribble shit. I would rather LeBron... You know, I dare Fox News to have LeBron on there to say some shit.
No, they won't.
You know, they
won't.
never will. I'm just
won't.
saying that I challenge them. You know what I'm saying? I challenge these news networks that have the nerve to call out these niggas to say it with their chest. Like, sometimes Fox News does that where they have, like, you know, what they think are conservative friendly NFL players who will keep it 1,000, and then suddenly it's like, yo, I thought you were conservative, Mike. They're like, yeah, I am, but
I play for the NFL.
I'm still, and I'm also still a black dude.
Yeah. So
first
don't
and foremost,
twisted,
like I believe in these values to some degree, but I'm not a white supremacist, like, or I'm not a fucking corporatist madman. Like, I think we should all fucking treat each other well, like, and here's why, like, or whatever it is that they're on there to talk about. And that's not what they want. They want, again, shucking and jiving, you know, and they want the coons to be like, shit is okay the way it is, you know, because this dude made it. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas singing in Popeyes commercials.
Yeah, or fucking, you know, them niggas that got the cupcake business after they quit football, son, like...
Yeah, we're making nachos.
Exactly. Like, that's what they want. They want the corporatist bullshit to continue. And again, I understand that because that's the doctrine of the system. And what you got to do to continue making money infinitely, which is fucking impossible. But that's what the cult says to do. So you got to keep doing it. No matter what, no matter if everybody burns, no matter how much you lose your fucking mind. Nah, why? You own your apartment building, or you own this, or you own that, or you got your estate, or you got your mansion, or you got...
you're just a slave.
You got
to
your
wave.
yacht, you got your, you know, you got all these things, and you earned them. And again, I don't want to shit on rich niggas for having these nice things they have. If I'm a rich nigga, I'm gonna get nice things.
Yes.
But do you really need fucking 10 yachts, my nigga?
Probably not.
Like, or do you need a yacht that fits inside of another yacht which exists? Like, and I understand the reasons why niggas get yachts is to launder money, and there's a whole thing behind that, but
all types of transactions.
But ultimately, like, isn't charity the better grift? Like, you look good, you get to wash mad money. You know what I'm saying? You get to deduct that. Like, you get to write that off, all that, like...
They don't think about it that way. Well,
or maybe it's not, maybe it's the old hotness, it's not the new hotness anymore. Like, because again, you know, when you're rich, as we've talked about many times, it seems like... Yeah. When you don't have to worry about where your next food is coming from, or your next anything is coming from, your next thing you're worried about is my legacy. Yeah. You know, or what mark will I leave on this world, you know, like that thing. And they will do it in the most ridiculous of ways. And I imagine, again, you give me 10 million tomorrow, whatever, I would do ridiculous shit too. Like,
we all would, man. If you had the money to do whatever,
give me 100,000 tomorrow.
You could do
ridiculous shit.
If you could do whatever you wanted tomorrow, bro, like everybody would. And it's like, all right, what do you do after that? That's why, like, again, like, it's funny. Kevin Hart was like, yo, rich people used to look at, like, the common folk as the weirdos. Now we look at them like they fucking weirdos.
They are.
Yeah,
because in a lot of ways they're trapped by, you know, the thing that they worked so hard to attain, or what's handed to them, or whatever it is.
Fame is a curse, man.
And again, I you know, as that Black Star song sung, you know, fuck the fame. Like, I'll take the fortune, keep the fame.
Yeah, all day.
Is what Quali says.
All day.
And he's funny, like where he came from, and now he's over here trying to get niggas they job taken and shit.
Yeah.
Like, wilding.
Yeah, he wilds out, but you know,
bugging, son. This nigga's a fed. Like, this nigga used to be one of the most conscious niggas in hip hop, and now he over here harassing niggas, like mortal niggas. Like, I could see if he was harassing other famous niggas. But he harassing you and me if we fucking say some shit to him or whatever. Like,
yeah, probably.
That's some bullshit. He's trying to get us fired. Like, who does that, son? How petty do you have to be? Like how powerless do you have to feel? And I guess this is a way to kind of close the thing out. Like, a lot of this points to, you know, the silliness of humanity is often, and again, I'm not sitting here saying like I'm some high and mighty nigga. Like, again, I just told you I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent this fucking month. Like niggas is struggling, you know, right now, but we make do. And in that, this is again why I'm out here trying to express myself. I don't see money from this shit. I don't care. Like, I'm out here just trying to feel good about myself and my life and get all these thoughts that I have screaming in myself about of reality and the way in which I have to navigate what is seemingly an absurd joke every fucking day. And I'm grateful to have that chance because I could be fucking dead and I'm not. So you don't misconstrue like my words here.
You're able to restart the game.
Like, once again, maybe I'll win it today. You know what I'm saying? And I'll take that. However, like the silliness and the absurdity of it all is frustrating, often frustrating, because we as a species are capable and have done so much.
Yeah.
Just in the sports that we've talked about a fair amount in this episode. Like, think about the organization it takes. I mentioned stats earlier and wins above replacement. Think about the niggas who have to come up with the math just to invent these acronyms. Think about the niggas who have to run these franchises. Think about the niggas who have to the nigga who sell hot dogs at the stadium, sell beer.
Nigga that gotta clean the toilets.
Nigga that gotta clean the horrible. I don't envy that nigga who gotta clean
at the garden.
I've cleaned toilets, my guy. I've cleaned bathrooms, my guys, for money. Like, that shit is not pleasant. And you think about the chain of events and like all these things that affect all these moving parts that need to make things happen, to make, a team run, to make a game run.
Yeah.
Just so that we could sit here, getting high and, fucking eating, fucking Crown Fried or whatever, like critiquing, Karis LeVert. Like, meanwhile, Karis LeVert has had a lifetime of shooting and driving and practicing and drills and this and that just to make it to be on Yes Television.
Yeah.
To fucking,
to be
criticized by us about a game that he probably played pretty good in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
pretty much.
And so I always think about, like, how we zoom in and out of these like levels of life and how much we take for granted. And I guess this is kind of that loopy stoner talk, which is funny because I'm not even stoned, but
not even. That's just that's ultimately what this whole cast was about. Just counting your blessings and understanding where you are and where you want to be, despite the fact that we're in a fucking a pandemic.
And for me especially, to see the bigger picture of things, because again, all these things would have existed, or a lot of these problems still existed before this virus showed up. And,
they're just worse now.
Yeah, they're just worse now because now the cogs are fucking gummed up by this shit. And so
there's no fucking WD-40.
I don't want to be trite and be like, we're in this together. And we are. But like...
We are, but we aren't, but we are.
I don't know. I wish I had some inspiring message for y'all besides just hang in there, basically, and be yourselves. More importantly, be yourselves. Because that has kind of pulled me through the year personally.
Yes.
It has pulled me into burying the hatchet with a lot of people that I thought I would never talk to again. It has pulled me through, working out daily when I think my form sucks and I'm fat and all these things that you tell yourself so that you don't do the workout, but I do it. It pulls me through my writing, in which that I think I'm bad at, but I do it anyway because, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, it's important to me. That's how I express myself. That's how I find out who I am through whatever measure and metric that means. And I do these things, and it's easy to just succumb to the depressive voices in my head that tell me that it's not worth it. And sometimes, man, they right. Like, honestly, like, there would be a lot of times, there's been a lot of periods in my life that I not only did this, but, wish that I could just sit here and, play JRPGs and NBA 2K and Mortal Kombat and all these things and just be fat and not do anything for myself and just enjoy this hollow satisfaction of killing time by these games and these distractions and these drugs and these women and these things that we all are hung up on. And I'm not saying don't play games and chase women, within reason, of course. If you're going to chase anybody, be careful with that shit,
Nah, just don't
fall. The plague is out there. But
just don't fall into the pit of
inaction, you know what I'm saying? Like at least if you're complacent, be real about that. If what you are content with doing is sitting on your couch and being fat and doing all these things that society tells you shouldn't do, smoking, eating McDonald's every day, whatever it is, whatever vice and whatever it is that means to you that people criticize you about or have judgment on or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Stand by that. If that's what you're gonna do, stand by that. If you live in y'all sucia life, you know, a lot of y'all niggas are judged by y'all sucia life. Live that shit, son. Stand by it. Like I try to stand by it. Like I'm down on myself. I criticize myself. I am my hardest critic. A favorite pastime of mine is fucking, you know, sitting in my shower and trying to meditate because I'm trying to calm the buzzing in my voice that tells me that it's not worth it to wake up and do stuff like this podcast every day, or stuff like researching for this podcast every day, or stuff like writing for myself, or writing for, you know, the other projects that I'm involved in. Like, it would just be easy for me to just, you know, fuck around and I guess a story that springs to mind amongst a lot of inspirational stories is Jason Sensation, which wrestling fans who listen to this may know as the Owen Hart impersonator from many years ago in the Nation of Domination, with the big prosthetic nose and, you know, all that shit. He many years ago, I saw a video of his in which Jason Sensation looked just like Owen Hart. Like, he wasn't even built. Like, he was just super skinny, but he had the same outfit and could do a good Owen Hart impression and whatever. And I saw a video of his, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And he looked completely different now. Like, he's ripped, huge. Like, mind you, this is a man who is, like, older. So, you know, the impression is that us older men can't fucking get ripped anymore for various reasons. And he's ripped now. And he talks about it in this inspirational video. I forgot why he made it, but, like, he released a video. And I saw it on Facebook because I was still on Facebook then. By the way, if you're on Facebook, delete that shit. I'm dead ass. That shit's not good for you. It's brain cancer.
That's really not.
You know, you're going to do what you want, but I'm telling you to me, like, I've been off that shit for 2 years now, some shit like that, 3 years. And
it's just the worst.
Social media is weird for me. Yes, I'm on Twitter. Yes, like, I engage in Twitter in some way, but for the most part, that's just brain cancer. It's not good for you. It's not good for your body. It gives you this FOMO. It gives you all this bullshit that you don't need. And I get it. You know, do what you want. You know what? Again, do what you want. I'm just telling you, for me, like, my outlook and my self-esteem and all these things have improved since I'm off this shit. At least with Twitter, like, it'd be so cancerous sometimes I could just hop off and be good money. Like, all right, that's enough Twitter for today. I don't need to stay on this shit all day. I'm out.
Word.
Anyway, I saw this video on Twitter and Jason Sensation is on there fucking doing bicep curls or whatever. This nigga's ripped, wearing the green tank top or whatever. And he's like, yo, I used to be like all y'all, like, and I'm not saying this to like bring you down or whatever. He says over his giant bicep, his fucking huge chest or whatever. He's like, I'm not saying any of this to bring all y'all down or be like I'm better than you or none of that. He's like, I was just like all y'all. I was on my couch eating double cheeseburgers.
Negative thoughts, man.
Exactly. Negative thoughts, eating double cheese. He says this perfectly. He's like, it was eating double cheeseburgers. I was watching TV. I was smoking doobies. Like,
I'm saying.
He was like, I was doing that shit. And then one day I just wasn't cool with it anymore. And I decided this is what I wanted for myself. And he's like, I'm not trying to cast judgment on y'all for eating cheeseburgers or smoking doobies. Like, that shit is great. He's like, I love that shit. Like, he's just like, it just wasn't for me anymore. Yeah. And I guess that's what we want to leave you with. Like, we want to leave you with that even though it's the end of the fucking world, and I hope that the dead don't rise or some fucked up shit doesn't happen on New Year's Eve or whatever, but like, or before this year's out, but like, be yourself. Like, make it happen for yourself. And I know it's trite to also bring that up and to say something that is often repeated, but like, you know, do it for you, man. Make it happen for yourself. You can transform. I'm trying to transform myself personally. Like, I don't. We all are. I don't want to be known for the things I was known for in the past. I don't want to be locked into some kind of like one mindset or box or anything like that. And no. I hate to sound Joe Rogan-y about it, but you can make it happen for yourself right now, today, tomorrow, 5 minutes from now, whatever. Like you have to. And I don't want to just sound like some what's that nigga's name? Tony Little, the nigga who is the blonde nigga who look like Mr. Perfect, you know what I'm talking about, who would sell all that exercise shit
with the ponytail.
Yeah, with the ponytails.
I forgot his name, but I remember
something Little, son.
I remember Stone Cold made fun of him on Mad TV one time. So.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I hate to sound like that dude, and you know, props to him or whatever, because at least he motivates people. But like,
Spandex.
See this as your motivation. Like, see this as, Mr. Perfect, R.I.P., the namesake of our podcast. Yeah, he had troubles, man. He sure did. Like, demons, like, that man had. But at the same time, he still was one of the greatest wrestlers to ever be in the ring, touch a microphone, look at a camera, like, any of that. You could say whatever you want about him. You could bring up the plane ride from hell. You can bring up whatever. Like, but that man really did exemplify excellence, even in his gimmick. And
panache.
And the fact that I would even practice, like, how to spit the gum out of my mouth and slap it, out of my hand, throwing the towel behind the back so that Bobby Heenan could catch it, like, all that shit. Like, whether it was a character or not, like, he exemplified that. Like, he, Bianca Belair does this, even though it's a kind of a, I don't want to say it's a cheap ripoff because she cool and all. Like, I think she's worth that. But excellence is not the worst thing to reach towards, even if it seems like you can't grab it because it's so far away, or you're not eating the right foods, or you're not going to the right gym, or you don't have enough money, or whatever it is. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. Believe me, I get it. And I tell myself this every day, but I still do the workouts though, even though I feel stupid, even though I feel dumb lifting the weights, even though I feel like my form sucks, even though all these things, like.
So excellence is being the best you can be.
And
That's
doing it.
Excellence is,
just fucking doing it.
Understanding who you are and just
Nike uses that just do it shit for a reason, because we want to keep ourselves from doing anything.
Be the best version of who the fuck you want to be. All right. Then that's when you start to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people are lost now.
One hopes. And even if you don't, like, at least you're still you, ultimately. And at least you are still making the choice to be yourself in whatever way that manifests. And, hopefully it doesn't manifest in negative ways. But ultimately, you are you forever until you're dead. So I'm going to try to be me forever. I spent so much of my life being told I wasn't good enough, being told and made to feel like I wasn't good enough, and that I wasn't smart enough, and that I wasn't this enough or that enough or whatever it is, or too much of this or too much of that. And who cares? Ultimately, who cares?
Nobody but you.
Nobody but you, and how you remember those things, and how you internalize those things. And a lot of things I've been writing about. A line I use a lot in lately is, I'm not trying to cut myself with the old knives that I used to cut myself with. Whether it's not that I cut myself with actual knives, but I mean, like, with people, with relationships, with situations. Metaphoric knives. Like, and if you're cutting yourself with real knives, please get help and don't cut yourself with real knives. Like, ultimately, it's not worth it. Yeah, I know you're doing it to either feel something or satisfy something in you, but I don't know. Like, I'm not trained in that realm or whatever. I don't pretend that I want to step into somewhere that I'm not suited to talk to. What I'm saying though is that
that's where this cast is starting to come to an end.
Yeah, we're here for you, or at least to the best of our ability.
We can advise certain things.
And to tell you that, and you're not alone, again, and I know I didn't want to say this, but we are in this together to some degree, because we all go through the same fucking roller coaster ride to some degree. Everyone's unique, but you're not, you're not, we've all had the same problems for millennia. Like, and if listening to me helps you kind of fucking pull yourself out of that, or at least go fucking do better at that game that you're good at, or fucking, I don't know, go eat a double cheeseburger, my nigga. Like, if that shit makes you happy,
enjoy it, cool. Just don't overindulge.
Yeah, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but recognize,
don't kill yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Also recognize that there's still shit to do. I have a whiteboard that I write shit on, and one of them is be who you are, but know that you can and must change. And that's because you're going to change anyway. We always do, by osmosis, by the world rubbing off on us, by our people rubbing up on us, by, the echo chambers that we find ourselves in, whether online or otherwise. Like, you're gonna change in some way. Shit, you're changing cellularly, because that fact that everyone always brings up, you change every 7 years, like, at a cellular level. Be someone else. Each 7 years or tomorrow. I don't give a shit. Just don't fucking kick yourself because it's the apocalypse right now. There isn't much we can do. Work within that realm, and I hope that you can. Like, I hope that it's easier said than done. It's easier for me to sit here and say that everything will be all right. I don't know. I don't. But make it happen for yourself instead of vortexing.
That's all you can do, man. I mean, we living in the land of lost right now, and ultimately, we're alone, but we actually are together, man, which is some weird shit. But you know, they don't give you a blueprint when you're born to like, yo, this is how you're supposed to do shit, and this is how you're supposed to not do shit. But hey, we figuring it out, and hey, we still here. So ultimately, hey, we doing something right. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way. And
one hopes.
I mean, we still here, man. We're still here. So, you know, it's, I guess that's just the human spirit, I guess.
Maybe that's what we'll title this episode, The Triumph of the Human Spirit at the End of the World. That sounds much more hopeful than investment at the end of the world that I was talking about earlier, no?
No. Investment at the end of the world will be when we have all types of financial advice for y'all.
That'll be a segment or some shit. That'll be some real shit.
You know, we won't let that rock until we actually have tried those
finances.
We tried those financial strategies.
Actual finances.
We'll bring them back to you. You know what I'm saying?
So all that said, children, I love y'all. I know a lot of podcasters say that, and everyone says that kind of like as a throwaway thing, but if you really sat here and listened to us talk for a little over an hour and a half, that means you're invested to some degree. So know that we are invested in you. Know that we are marching through the long night together, man. But keep that torch lit.
As long as y'all marching, we marching too.
Exactly. We can overcome the monsters in the dark together. And like I mentioned earlier about being in the dark, remember, stars shine brightest when they're in the dark. Watchtower of God. You know, you'll see what I'm talking about, my guys.
All types of extra shit. And, you know what I'm saying? We'll bring that real superstar shit to y'all later on.
Wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've been the most liquid of snakes.
You know what I'm saying? This is once again that's Bandit _Light7 on the gram, but this is aka the Lightskin Bandit, you know, really stealing the night on y'all niggas. And
you know, I'll leave you with something that always brought me hope, even though it comes from a place seen as trashy. Shout out to your man Jerry Springer. Remember what he would always say after his final thoughts? Take care of yourselves. Really. Take care of yourselves.
Oh, he had to say that with the type of audience he was dealing with.
But it was also a poignant message.
No, it was.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
Wait, wasn't Jerry like a governor or some shit before?
Mayor of Cincinnati, I believe.
See, very political.
Or something like that.
Very political.
But we'll leave it there. We'll be back with sports shit, I swear. We'll kind of cap off like the sports year that was to some degree, and also kind of cover the beginning of here we are, the NBA, the 2021 NBA season right here again.
Once again, folks, so, get your dice ready.
You know, we're gonna
get the dice and the cards ready.
We're gonna see a lot of desperation going on in the last couple of weeks, folks. But a lot of good basketball games too. So tune into that. We'll check y'all then.
Yes.
Peace out.